you press start streaming on the streaming software, it doesn't like go live immediately. You have to press go live, which I always forget to do. Because basically you could stream to YouTube, all the data, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't go live instantly. So let's say you want to like go live, but you want to make sure that you're on the whole time so that like, I don't know, you're setting up the studio. So maybe you just want to make sure it's on the whole time. Maybe you want to maintain multiple streams that are running at once, right? Press one all start streaming button. But for YouTube, you don't have to go and press another button that says go live. And lets you go live. So I've pressed it now. So we should be live on YouTube. Hopefully there the audio is good too.
Yep. You said we're there. I know. I hope every time I've streamed with you, I feel like my mic just gets blown out a lot. So guys, if that happens, please, is it right now?
Already is, but it's okay. It's not a crime yet.
I put it really far away from me.
Now I'm on. Why did you? He went to YouTube. I love that 40 Fingers went to YouTube, commented about how we weren't online, and then came back to Twitch. Fucking asshole.
You know what? That's good. We needed that.
Did we?
Yeah, we weren't live.
I don't think we needed that. I didn't need that. I could have lived without it.
I like the versatility.
Oh, fuck off. I'm so tired. Okay. I can't even say I'm streaming on 2 platforms because Twitch will take my channel down. Anyway, so AI art be making Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the future. Yes, Playmaker. Finally, somebody who understands the value of AI art. From now to the end of time, I can use AI art to create all of the greatest Yu-Gi-Oh cards of all time. Tell him, Tyler. Tell him about how I'm gonna make Blue Eyes White Dragon Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Will be stunning.
There's this Twitter video. I don't know if I've ever showed it to you. There's this Twitter video where there's a bunch of people. There's this guy with this guy who plays only Blue Eyes White Dragon. He's got like a dual disc, like an original dual disc. It's covered in diamonds. He's wearing all white, and then he's like staying there. You know I only rub blue eyes, blue eyes, blue eyes. This is a joke exclusively for Yu-Gi-Oh people because of how stupid it is. No one else understands this because it's not even a good card, by the way, for context. Blue Eyes White Dragon is like fine, but it's not like good. Why am I telling you about Yu-Gi-Oh? Whatever. You understand the point.
This is some Yu-Gi-Oh content, and I'm not going to lie to you.
Welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Today we're just here for Yu-Gi-Oh.
Welcome to Magic the Gathering Hub, where I complained for 2.5 hours that Wizards of the Coast just released an entire new set of Magic cards that are also unplayable for $1,000. And I don't mean unplayable like they're bad. I mean unplayable like you cannot play them for $1,000.
Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
Hey, Freddie. Hey, everyone. Okay, people are here. All right, gang. I don't even know how we wanted to tackle this because we have a topic list. I said we have a topic list. I have a topic list in my head that I just told you about.
Yep.
I'm gonna start us off, and then we'll figure out what we want to tackle and where.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Am I still? Is my microphone okay?
Yeah,
I literally moved it away.
Shut up. Let me do the people want to hear me do the intro. Jesus.
Okay, I don't want to ruin everyone's ears.
Right,
sorry.
It's too late already. Anyway. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of the Webcomics Hubcast on the day of our Lord, the 3rd of December, 2022. I am your God and Savior, Nen, Father of all, King of the Andals and the First Men, whatever the fuck Daenerys says in that TV show. And today I'm joined by my assistant, who was formerly my research assistant, but is now my full assistant.
Like a day. That was your research assistant. An hour.
She was promoted. In like a day, she was promoted. And like, who's now my full assistant, Tyler. Tell them.
Tyler.
Say hi, Tyler.
Hi. I'm Tyler.
The best intro yet. A Ren NW. Tyler. Tyler is my assistant. Tyler also has her own channel. It's called Rosie Bird TV because branding is non-existent in your universe.
Nope. What is that?
I should say, like, I say this like my branding was better until like a year ago. So like, fuck, ignore me. But she has a channel called Rosie Bird TV. If you want like not in-depth conversations, but more stuff that's like fun and enjoyable, where people are happy, and sometimes there's a skeleton and he has a name. What's his name again?
Johnny.
Wait, his name is Honey?
No, Johnny.
Johnny. Okay, I was gonna say for a second, what the fuck? Johnny, and his name is Johnny. Go to Rosie Bird TV. It's a pretty good channel.
Yeah. I just talk about webcomics and I vibe.
Yeah.
In like a fun way. In a fun
way. In a fun
head empty kind of way.
In a fun, loving way, just like the kids do.
Yeah,
Recently, Tyler did a ranking of every one of Purple Hyacinth's main characters in a cornfield.
Yeah.
Because
I was in a tractor.
She's a farmer. But yeah, just bring that out. Make sure that's done. Thank you very much, Tyler, for joining us today. Today, I have some topics for you, Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to hear the topic list?
Yes. Okay, yes, I would.
So we're starting off with, you're so fucking slow. We're starting off with the topics that I've got are Clip Studio's AI situation, which I think is really funny.
Yes.
I want to talk about Webtoon Yonder, the app, but I thought we could do that later. I want to talk a little bit about Voice Me and some of the stuff I've been researching that you kind of know about, but I haven't explained to you very well. And we needed to have a meeting today anyway, so I thought I'd just make it a show.
Whatever works.
Rights ownership, as in like, and by rights ownership, I just mean like who is supposed to be like, just how should you handle your copyright management, the management of your copyright, and like going after people who might be infringing on that, and what's best for that in a way that is not attacking specific people. Because I want to do that. I want to do that. Because I don't think anybody in the situation in question that everyone probably knows about was wrong, but I do think some people were a little bit over the top. And I wanted to talk about that, and I wanted to talk about sales funnels. And because someone sent me a message again. Basically, look, I get a lot of DMs. Someone sent me a message again that essentially boiled down to, how do I market my comic? And I've talked about this a lot, but I figured that when we talked about Webtoon Yonder, it'd be a really good time to talk about the sales funnel and how that plays into your marketing. I thought that'd be an interesting thing to talk about. Yeah. So which one would you like to start with? Anyone's fine.
Let's start with Voice Me.
Voice Me. Okay. All right.
Let's knock that
out. So, Tyler, I think it's fair to say I've been doing a lot of research. We have a Google Drive full fucking dedicated. We have a Google Drive thick with 3 C's of information of all the people I've spoken to related to Voice Me and from Voice Me. And I'm still collecting stuff about them. But I thought I would talk about them like properly, because since I want to do a longer video on them, I want to do either a video or a live stream on them. I thought it would be good for me to talk about them preliminarily, just to kind of explain who they are and like to kind of talk us through their whole deal, right? So, Voice Me. I guess where we start is who made Voice Me. Voice Me is the project of 2 people, as far as I can tell. A Dylan Talano or Met, as he's called usually in this community, and another man, Tom Ford, these 2 are both children. And I say that with love because they're both like 23 at most. Like,
babies.
Like, yeah, they're kids. Like, it's okay. Like, it's cool. They're grown adults. They're legal adults, and I'm sure they like at the age at which they're at. It's not like a bad thing. You know what I mean? I just mean like they're young, and I wouldn't be running a company if I was that young, but I also see that there are people who can do that legitimately, you know? So I'm not gonna harsh on their mellow. Also, hey, DJ Waggle Muffin and hey, Jow. Anyway, so they'll seem to have another board member, another person in their like leadership called Luke Zhang, but that's for longer videos. That's for a longer video. For today, I just wanted to talk. Let's go into a little bit more depth about them. So they're a company that started in New York, New York, by the way, not like just New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
New
NYC.
York, NYC, deep in the city. You know, somewhere on 15th and Main.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know where they actually started. They started there, and their whole they got their money from. They started in the Big Apple. You know, how do you say the Big Apple in Spanish? No, how do you say the Big Apple in Danish?
Gosh.
Translate to Danish.
Det store æble.
Det store æble. They started in Det store æble, which was probably very loud for everyone watching it. And like the place they made for Madagascar started in the Big Apple, and like their whole they basically got started off because the owner or the owners, the people running it, started a La Gran Manzana. Okay, good to know. They started they won a competition, basically like a pitch competition. Do you know what the pitch competition is? Have you ever seen one before?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so like imagine a room full of people where you have to basically pitch your company idea to them. You usually have no proof of concept at this point, right? Or a very small one, right?
It's like Shark Tank without any of your props.
Yeah, Shark Tank without any of the shit, right? And that's
you just
actually,
have to walk in.
Yeah, but that's actually okay because you still have to make a business pitch. You need to talk about projections. It's actually really hard. I should admit that. It's
Yeah.
really hard. Shark Tank is hard. Like Shark Tank is hard.
Yeah.
So imagine Shark Tank when you were like 23, like 21, like 19.
And you can't even show them like the cool new poncho you made. You just have to tell them about it.
Exactly. You don't have like millions of dollars to like make a prototype. You don't have your own money. You still got to be like fucking interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they do that. They go through that. They win like $20,000 from what I can tell. And they take that $20,000, they build up the site a little bit, and then they go through some funding rounds to get their money. Now, there's more stuff I'm going to go into depth in the actual video for them. But what's really interesting to me about them is that they are incredibly small and and seem to largely function off of like community goodwill. Now, I'm not sure if that's fully true. As I've been talking to people, it seems like it is true. It seems there's a lot of community goodwill, which is very confusing for a company. They apparently used to focus a lot more on novels, and now they focus a lot more on comics. I guess, and for a lot of people, they probably are aware that they're hosting a contest right now. Now, I guess the question I'm going to ask you is this. From everything you've heard so far, this is very superficial in fairness, but everything you've heard so far, how do you feel about trusting this place with your stuff, your IP?
I mean, not great. I don't know much yet.
Does it feel a little bit like you come across it, you see the website, because I think you've seen the website, haven't you? You've seen it? You've not seen it? Let me show you the website.
Yeah, no.
Let me show you the website. Because I want it to be clear. I don't even hate them. I don't even have anything against them yet. I mostly just want to like talk about them in this way. So this is the website. I'm just going to show it to you now. It should be on the screen now, at least most of it. So you come across this website. Like, how's it making you feel?
Let me see. I'm still not seeing it. Where am I supposed to see it, Dad?
It should be on the screen. I'm just gonna send you a link. Oh yeah. Also, they have a weird fetish for comics about gods, but whatever. I'm just kind of leaving that alone because.
Yes, I've seen this. Sorry,
yeah,
of course I've seen this. I've seen this.
How do you feel about it right now?
I mean,
be real with me.
It's tough.
Be real with me. Like, just tell me genuinely. I'm not trying to get you to like bash on them because I have a lot of opinions about them, but I'm holding all of my opinions back. I'm going to only tell you the things that I know. that are
I mean,
superficial and important.
Yeah, when I first look at it, it really does feel like one of those places where if I was going to go in there and actually give them my information, it would be stolen immediately.
You want to know something really funny about that thing you just said? When the website started, they used to make you give them your phone number to verify your account.
Oh,
I think that was what you needed to do to upload content. It was mega weird. And I remember, like, I should point this out, right? This is just funny to me. They don't operate like this anymore, so it's not something you should judge them on. But I remember somebody going to the town hall and basically bringing up a concern to them about security, right?
okay.
And like hey, I don't think it's really secure that you have our phone numbers. What do you do to keep us secure? And they basically went, we're going to hire a bunch of hackers to hack the site until it works, and to fix everything.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I'm not a cybersecurity expert. I'm not going to pretend like I am, right? I have some cybersecurity experience, but I wouldn't even pretend like it's like notable. But even with my limited cybersecurity experience, that is not how things should work. That's how Tumblr worked in like 2000 and what? Like when it first came out, when it was run by what was essentially a 16-year-old.
Right.
Like that's how Tumblr works. You know what I mean? That's how Tumblr worked back then. And like that made sense back in like the wild west of the internet.
Yes.
But I love how somebody called you an emo. Yes, the emo. But also I love how it worked well in the wild west of the internet, but I wouldn't say it works well now. Right? So that was a bit of a yikes for me. But they don't work like that anymore. So whatever. And I've looked at some of the content on the platform, and it's of varying qualities. They do a thing where they separate webcomics, they separate manga from webcomics, and then they separate that from, of course, from novels, obviously. Right?
Yes.
Comics and manga, separate things? I'm asking. What do you think?
I mean, webcomics and manga are certainly different. I think that a manga is a comic, though.
I guess. I feel like from a platform perspective, like
traditionally they're different. Yeah, I think they're different.
I think from a platform perspective, they're all the same for the reader, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm looking, a lot of platforms have been doing this, by the way, so it's not like even a hit on them. A lot of platforms have been doing it where they split like their comic and manga sections separately. And I find that to be a little bit confusing. I think that they're the same. I don't know what I know what the point is, because the point is like the style, like, hey, this is the typical manga style. So this is all going to be in black and white, or mostly in black and white. It's going to read right to left. It's going to have all those like separations and cultural distinctions. And I know what the reason why a lot of them also separate web comics from regular comics is they're like page format, separate, different stylization, et cetera, et cetera. And then webcomic, they think of webcomic as like the Webtoon infinite scroll.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think of, I guess.
Is that what you think of when you think of webcomic, genuinely?
I mean, yeah, but you have to be... Yeah, that is kind of what I think of. And that's because that's what I was introduced to first when it came to webcomics was the vertical scroll.
Okay, when did you start reading webcomics? What year? If you remember.
It was not that long ago. It was only a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. I'm real old school. So like,
yeah, no, like the first comics I read were in book form, like Calvin and Hobbes. No joke, that was like my first comics. But the first introduction I had to webcomics was like Webtoon, vertical scroll.
Okay, no, valid. I think my first ever webcomic, and I'm just gonna show it on the screen. I'm gonna send you a link, by the way. My first ever webcomic is this one. By Aaron Alexovich on his website. I don't even know if there's still a he, but on their website, aaronalexovich.com. Right? And I'm not gonna lie. This comic is the reason why I'm gay. This comic is the reason why I'm gay.
I love that for you.
I know, right? But Aaron's worked on some Invader Zim stuff. So if the art looks familiar, that's why. But yeah. So this is like one of the first webcomics I read, I think.
Okay.
So for me, it's like Like that's what I think of when I think of webcomic. The 1 page every like 6-month upload schedule.
Right.
That takes 10.
Which I've experienced, but yeah, prior that's so yeah, it's not my first thought, but
yeah, for me that's like the normal because that's like the comic that takes a decade. Like Aaron started making this comic in 2002, and then didn't finish until like 2016 or something.
my.
You say why?
I said, oh my.
Yeah, no, sorry, 2013. So like 10 years, right? That's what I think when I think of traditional comics. So when I see when I see that distinction between like the comic, the web comic, the webtoon, the manga, I feel like we're making too many distinctions that they exist theoretically, stylized. For some reason, my screens just went off. All of my computer screens just went off. You there?
Yes.
Oh no. I'm having technical difficulties. Give me a moment. Fixed it.
That's hello.
I have fixed it. Oh my God. Tyler, you there?
Yes.
Oh, thank God. You're back. Oh. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. So when I'm thinking, when I see that distinction between like manga, webcomic, webtoon, and comic, I'm just feels a little bit like fucked. I don't know.
I can see what you're saying. Like, I mean, in all, they are similar animals. They're all comics.
Like, I see that they have similarities. I see that they have differences that matter. But like, I feel like that while those distinctions are relevant in like for the audience member, I don't see the point in distinguishing them as a platform, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also,
I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Also, they're having an argument. Somebody's having an argument in the chat about how Solo Leveling is better than other webtoons. Please weigh in.
Oh, okay.
Do you like Solo Leveling?
I can't say I have much experience with solo leveling.
You haven't read it?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
No.
You're the only one I know that's read it. Thank God. Okay, good. Don't read it.
Okay.
I've saved
seen
your life.
it, but yeah, no, I've
saved
never.
Your life. Don't read it.
Thanks. Okay.
Oh.
I won't. I'll continue to head empty that too.
Oh my God. Like wait, what's the good part of Webtoon? Not LGBTQIA. Wait, who said, okay, what's happening in my chat?
What is going on?
I don't know. I just looked and I saw someone.
Oh my God. Now you're getting like spam.
Yeah, I got spam, but that's fine. That happens. Is somebody like being homophobic in my chat? Can they get fucked? Oh, you don't know how to ban. Lol.
My God.
I love the question when you meet a homophobe, are you American? Oh my God, I love this. This is my favorite thing in the whole world. Chat is drunk. You gotta love Twitch chat. I want everyone to know that like oh my God. I've banned them, don't worry. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. I think they're gone. You missed a lot. I came back. I looked away for 5 seconds to come back to my chat. This is why I don't like Twitch, guys. YouTube chat is like the best. No one has said anything in YouTube. YouTube is so
that's
much
where
better.
I'm at.
YouTube
it's
is
fine
where
over
everyone
here.
is normal. I love all the people on YouTube. Live streaming on YouTube, normal fucking people. Live streaming on Twitch, I don't know what the fuck is going on there.
YouTube chat is superior. That's one thing they got.
Oh my God. We had invaders, but I hear fuck off. You are American.
Are you a valid question?
Oh my God.
As an American, valid question.
Oh my god. I'm normal, I swear. It's okay. I hope I didn't just ban Requiem. I thought I just banned him, but I didn't. Okay, cool. Anyway, so chat is chill on YouTube. Stay there. I'm back to where I focus. I'm no longer distracted. What was I talking about? Yeah, so like platform distinction content, blah, blah, blah. Anyone who watches this playback is going to be so fucking confused.
Yeah, they're not going to be sure what's going
I feel really bad for them. Anyway, platform distinction content, blah, blah, blah. So I'm giving you like an intro to Voice Me, right? Like just a rough intro of like this site is kind of small, kind of janky. It does a lot of distinction things. And how are you feeling about it as of right now?
about Voice Me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of unfair to ask me, honestly, because I'm like half as invested in this as you are already too.
Yeah,
so
because you've already seen the things I was writing.
So for me, I'm like, how do I like reach into my to give you the opinion I had before I knew everything?
What do you mean?
Like before I knew and we'd like talked more about Voice Me.
Oh, like how would you reach back in time to?
Yes, like how do I reach out, like reach back to my opinion
I guess
prior?
The question is, if like 3 months ago somebody came up to you and was like, "Hey, I'm posting on this channel."
Okay, so if I just went to it.
Yeah.
And it was like a friend of mine and they were like, I'm gonna go with Voice Me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would be a little bit sketched out immediately. Truly, I just would be. It looks, especially, and I mean, of course, again, I've already looked into the contest, but even the contest, like the rules for like all these things, it just comes off a little discombobulated.
Why?
Because they don't have it. If it looks like it's trying to look professional, but like I said, in a way where I'm afraid I would hand this over and then I would lose everything.
Okay, all right, valid point.
But that's all very like when I'm just looking at it. But even reading in on them and what you've been saying, I don't know. I love the idea of another platform. It's just they're not quite hitting.
I wanted to make, after like, because I don't know if people who are watching don't know, I've made like I've done like 3 interviews in the past week. I'm doing another one next week. With the Voice Me guy, but I've done like 3 interviews with people like Twitch has a thing now where when someone makes an account and then they type in your chat, it says possible ban evader monitoring. Anyway, so like when somebody sorry, I just fucking lost my train there. Anyway, I've done like a few interviews now with a couple of them, and like what it's come down to is essentially me realizing that like every time I think there is a new good option, a new good option as a creator to post your content, right?
Mm.
Every time I think that, it ends up in a situation where like I start thinking, am I thinking it's good because it's actually good? Or am I thinking it's good because I'm absolutely desperate for any place to like post my stuff? You know what I mean?
Right. It really, when you have a vendetta against one of the bigger ones, not even a vendetta, but you're just tired of them.
Like, you're just kind of like done. So
you're kind of desperate for something to fill that place and be at least reasonable.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know, because when I first went on to Voice Me, I know originally I was thinking, well, this is nice. There's a new place. Like I said, originally I looked at it and I'm like, kind of looks like it really does. It reminds me of when you're trying to read like a pirated manga, and you just wind up on a site and it's like trying to look good, but it's a little scary.
I think. But it's like, can they actually deliver what they're selling to people? Someone says, yeah, like, can they? It's weird. Like, you always wonder if any of those people can actually deliver on what they're promising. I don't think any of them can. I don't expect any of them to deliver. It is just always a little bit like disconcerting, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're offering. Well, they're
they're offering a
saying,
lot.
yeah.
They're often offering like more than I would say is reasonable.
Hmm.
I don't know. As it stands right now, as it stands right now, like honestly, I don't. Someone just said I don't trust them. As it stands right now, like as a content delivery platform, I am just sitting here wondering what their long term goal is, which is a big part of what I'm going to be asking them. Because
Yeah.
I spoke to Global Comics CEO Chris, who's a very nice
Yes.
guy. We were talking about code yesterday. As you can tell, I like him. It's not particularly a hard thing to figure out. Um, but I spoke to him, and he basically like gave me a really strong explanation for like he gave me a really strong explanation for like why he's doing things the way he's doing it, what his whole long term goal is, um, what his content goal is. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to have explained to me.
Yeah.
Um, then I've spoken to Zero X Manga, which I don't know if any of you guys know what that platform is. I mean, Tyler knows what that platform is because Tyler's had to deal with the pain of me basically talking about them nonstop every day for the past X amount of time.
That one is painful though.
That one is interesting, and maybe I should talk about that too. Separately.
Honestly, probably because that is a whole. That's a whole
other thing. But if you don't
Yeah.
know what that Zero X is, Zero X is like an NFT crypto platform.
And
Like
aside from that, it looks really promising though. Like that's what makes it
aside from the
painful.
NFT and crypto, there's a lot of promising things on there that are
Which
kind
is
of interesting to see. But I've spoken
yeah.
to the CEO of that now. And like I'm now also going to speak to CEO of VoiceMe. And with a lot of these newer companies, it's just a situation of a consistent like, what the fuck is your angle? Someone said Global Comics seems like they're trying to get something done, but they have very lofty goals. But the thing is, they don't. They're just very slow.
Yeah.
This is the weird thing. Like, okay, Tyler's had to listen to the entire.
I'm just so excited.
I did an interview with the creator of, with the CEO of Global Comics, and I have the audio done. It's kind of scratchy. My bad. It's just not in perfect condition.
It's not. It's fine. It sounds fine. Everyone.
Does not sound fine.
It sounds good. Just
whatever. It does not sound fine. You're living a fucking fantasy, but it's fine.
It's a really good interview. Whatever. Continue.
I spoke to him, and like at the end of the day, it boiled down to like I'm doing things the way I'm doing them because being slow is better than being fast and then failing quickly. Right? Like it's a thing that we've seen in our industry a lot. Like our industry has an issue where people try to do things really, really quickly. It fails. They take a long time to do it. They waste everyone's time because they waste everyone the time of everyone who invests in them, and then they kind of fizzle away and die.
Well, this is something I've been taught. It's the fail fast method because if you just fail fast, then it's over with.
Yeah, but also if you fail
you
fast,
can move on.
If you fail fast and you fail fast enough, you can make a bunch of money before you die or you
Mhm.
fail. It's really interesting. But like for me, wasting especially time of another creator is a lot worse to me than like stealing their IP.
I mean, yeah.
You can always get IP back, but if you
When you're working with creators, yeah,
if
especially.
you waste like wasting 6 months of a creator's time on the internet is like crazy.
Oh yeah, that's just
It's like
awful.
a crazy amount of time to waste.
It is.
Wasting like
we don't have time.
No, we don't. Like 6 months is time you could use
Waste.
to do lots of different things. And the fact that it gets wasted putting it on X platform can be really bad, especially if you give them IP rights so that when they close down, you can't even like take your stuff and then just upload it yourself somewhere else. It can be pretty bad. So for me, time wasting is really fucking bad. And like in this space, with the number of people who are very willing to waste time, and the number of people who seem very willing to fail fast and waste your time, Global Comics is kind of an interesting thing to see. Kind of an interesting kind of an interesting like end. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm not concerned. Like they seem lofty, but I'm not concerned about them. I'm really concerned about Voice Me. I'm very concerned about Zero X manga, especially with the number of new IPs that get on there all the time. They have like 100 new 100 people creating content on there. Concerned as fuck. I am not concerned about Global Comics. Slow,
No.
but yeah.
No. Especially after speaking with him, I have a lot of faith in.
Chris is a nice guy. He's probably listening to this right now because he listens to the podcast when he works.
I really enjoyed that.
I hope he's not listening to this. But yeah, no, I think he's a nice guy.
I do.
I should say
we love him.
we love Chris in this house. I should say, after talking with the Zero X manga creator, and this is all related to this like Voice Me thing of just like I'm a little bit worried about these platforms and how they treat things and how odd they are. Like after talking to the Zero X manga creator, which I've not even sent you the interview for, it's on my computer. After talking to him, right? I will say that it was a weird conversation. Like he's one of the only ones I'm just like, maybe I should make a video for that. There's a lot to say.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say. There's a lot to say. No. Like if you want like a TLDR, I had a conversation with him. Because if you want a TLDR for whenever the video comes out, I had a conversation with him. And I said to him, I said, hey, look. Hey, look. What if everyone coming to use your platform, like you know, after a year or whatever, you got 10,000 users, 10,000 creators, millions of readers, and nobody's using the NFT system, the NFT and crypto system. Will you remove it? And he basically says to me, no, it's about no, we won't. It's about education. It's about getting them up to speed, about teaching them how to use it. That was kind of concerning.
Yeah, like I said, that's the painful part of it all, because when you look at all of those or these other options for webcomic platforms, it is one that looks visually, anyways, to me it looks nice. I like that it's well made, but yeah, that you can't get over that.
The thing is, they're so fast. They're so fast at making stuff because I'm never gonna get over. I'm not gonna get over how like they launched less than 2 months ago, and Global Comics is like it's a Global Comics. Sorry, Global Comics is still like doing their thing and taking their time, and I get why they're taking their time, especially because of the app development. And I'm gonna just say this to you guys: I've seen a screenshot of the app. I think I can legally say that to you. I've seen a screenshot of the app. I can't show it to you, but I have high hopes. I can't show anyone, so I just have to sit here like I'm fucking whatever. Anyway,
actually, Nan, what you're referencing, he's put some of that out on Twitter.
Wait, has he?
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, why didn't you send me the tweet so I could know?
I'm pretty sure.
Anyway,
I followed him.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. Show it, find it if you can. But yeah.
Okay.
But the Zero X manga guys, like in 2 months of launching, they've remodeled the entire website, introduced their own currency, so that one that's like coins, but for them, put in a bunch of monetization features, giving you all the tag systems, giving you an upload screen, giving you like a freaking really good statistics page, giving you like all these features. And like in that time, since they put that out, Webtoon's just to let us comment on the creator profiles, but only on desktop and not on mobile. Well, you can comment on mobile now. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I can't hear you. It cut you off. My thing just cut you off.
My back.
You're back, yeah. Yeah, we can comment on mobile. High quality technology, guys. Like we are, this is in like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, they're like to go where no man has ever gone before, the forefront of technology. The edges of the universe. That's where we're at. We're on the edge of the universe.
Totally.
Oh my God. I love them so
Okay.
much. Did you find the tweet?
Yeah, it's not like it's a whole lot, but there is a little bit of a sneak peek to what I assume is going to be mobile app versus just some design.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, that's part of it. I've seen more. I've seen a little bit more than that, but that's part of it.
I know I had to
Um,
listen while I couldn't see it.
it's fine. Like, live your life. Um, I just think it's really funny, like how fast your exes moved. But like that's the thing, all of them are doing this. All of them are acting like differently, and like, but they all give me different levels of anxiety. Like Zero X give me a lot of anxiety. I got a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
Freaking, Jake's giving me like a lot of anxiety. Freaking, what you call it? Voice Me is giving me like
Voice me.
some anxiety, if not a lot. Global Comics gives me no anxiety. They just, Chris is great. That's it. I think this is gonna be really weird. If he ever listens to this, it's just gonna be a lot of me going, honestly, Chris, you're pretty cool. I kind of like your style, buddy. I like your jive, turkey.
Yeah.
Wait, no,
I liked him a lot.
Wait, no, you don't say jive, turkey. Oh my god, fuck! I don't know my black
Jive.
slang from the '60s. It's supposed to be a chump. Oh, I didn't mean to call you chump. I didn't mean to call you a chump. I think he's good. I think he's cool.
Yeah, he is really cool.
I used that slang completely inappropriately. I'm very upset. It's just so wrong. But yeah, like no, I think that's just where we are with the platform. So that's where VoiceMe kind of brought me to. Like a lot of my thoughts around VoiceMe kind of brought me here.
Mm-hmm.
I ask, knowing all the things that we've done, we can't tell that what we've seen, but knowing the things that we know, do you think that like there's any? Do you have faith in them? Do you have faith in any of them?
In any of them, like Voice Me, Zero X.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. If he would be receptive to cutting out NFT content and not treat it like he needs to teach everyone about the glory of NFTs, I would have a lot more faith, but I don't. So no, that kind of just knocks it out for me. I don't want to say I have no faith in Voice Me. I feel like it has potential. They just need to kind of work on some things. And I do have a lot of faith in Global Comics, especially with the old mobile app coming in. But maybe I am a little biased. I listened to that whole interview, and like we said, I like Chris so much now that I'm like, I believe in Chris. I feel like he's gonna get this somewhere.
I like Chris so much now that I believe.
I like Chris so much. I'm just gonna run.
You're gonna run with it. Run with the.
I'm here. Like I said, in this house we stand Chris, and now I'm ready for Global Comics. I want it to take over the world.
Oh my god, please calm down. Jesus Christ.
No.
Like, get yourself together. Cringe.
No.
Okay, all right. I see your argument. I don't think that's gonna happen for quite a long time. And I think for a lot of people that's gonna be a lot of different things to consider in that moment. Okay, fair enough. And I think I'm gonna move us to a topic that I'm very invested in.
All right, let's go.
We'll talk about AI. You know what AI is? You ever used an AI before?
I have.
You ever used an AI to generate a blue eyes white dragon?
I can honestly say no, I haven't.
Well, I mean, like we really can. It's pretty easy. I was gonna make a thumbnail today with a bunch of stable diffusion images, but I just kind of gave in. Clip Studio.
Some of those were funny.
There's some interesting news. Clip Studio recently, and as I mean recently, I mean like where's the tweet? By recently, I mean literally like 2 days ago or something. Like 2 days ago or whatever, said, the 29th of, don't say finally, come on. I can talk about all the other stuff I want to talk about before I talk about Clip Studio. Don't be mad at me.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Clip Studio introduced, the 29th of November said they were introducing their AI, experimental AI feature based on stable diffusion. Celsius is Clip Studio's parent company, explained, hey, we are not providing or will not provide us any data to train the model. We're just using the model because it allows us to generate textures and images and things that we can use, right? Things that you as a creative can utilize to make interesting new things, new creations much easier. It works on their mobile app. It works on their regular. It works on the desktop app, obviously, and it's coming to version 1.113. So I think that's everyone. That's everyone, because everyone's on version 1 right now. So I think that's every single person, including people who owned Clip Studio from before. Which I think is kind of which I saw this. I thought this was a great feature. The tool they're using is Stable Diffusion, and then Clip Studio then said as an addendum. Clip Studio then said as an addendum, they said, "Hey," and I'm just gonna put this on the screen, people to see it. They said, "Hey guys, love you, wonderful, you're all great. By the way, we can't really be held liable for the images that you generate, and frankly, we don't really want to be. I've showed this on the screen here. They're like, hey, look, the experimental feature will use Stable Diffusion's model developed and released by Stability AI. The model will be used as is, and Celsius is not providing any user data to train the model. Right? Clip Studio Paint has not collected and will not collect or use any form of data without clear consent from the user. And the prompts in generated images used will be archived on an anonymous web page. And then the last one, which is the one that I think is quite obviously useful and good, actually, is we cannot guarantee that images generated will not infringe on the rights of others. While we will not limit the use of generated images, we ask you to use your best judgment to ensure it does not infringe on other people's work, give more or less. So I saw this. I thought, yeah, AI model to predict, to generate images, actually really good. That's what I wanted them to do from the start. I didn't really want. I really thought it was a really good feature that was being implemented. I thought everything about it was really good, and I was not concerned, if I'm honest with you. I know how Stable Diffusion works. Like, this is my job. I
Yeah.
used to be a freaking programmer. This is my job. Like, I know how Stable Diffusion works. I know how it functions. I know what it's trained off of. So for me, I was just like, yeah, whatever. And then everyone collectively lost their fucking minds.
Right.
I looked away for 5 minutes. I came back. Why did you guys get so mad? Like, it's just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. And and the only argument I've seen, and I'm just gonna be straight up about it. Only argument I've seen is the one that was essentially like, well, back when the AI generation art thing was really, really booming, people were like, we don't need small artists anymore. A lot of people use Stable Diffusion to generate art that is based on the work, to generate art.
Yeah.
And it was usually copy the styles of really prominent artists and stuff. I'm like, that isn't good. I don't like that it copied the styles of prominent artists and things like that. But at the same time, do you even understand how it works? Is my argument. It's at least my
Right.
thoughts. And my thoughts came like that because I'm like, okay, like, I'm not gonna shit on people for not liking it. Like, don't like it. It's your life. Live it. But if you've seen how Stable Diffusion works, Stable Diffusion is trained on what's called the LAION 5B, which is a really boring name for a massive data set of like 6 billion, no, like 3 to 6 billion images, 36 billion data points, essentially, all organized into image, text and other things. And all of this data is gotten from a public facing environment. So they didn't like go into your house and steal your goddamn data.
No.
Anything that was publicly facing on the internet, they took. That's what they used. Lion, LAION. Anything that was publicly facing on the internet, they took as data and they used. Is it perfect? No. Like, they even talked about how, they have like that. Sorry, my bad. I'm getting a little bit flustered. Like, they even from the people who collected the data set, they explained how, like, look, we know that it is imperfect and we know that people's information could be in there. If you do find your information, please remove it.
Yeah.
Because please tell us and we'll remove it. So, like, and in fairness, they said that to only EU people, but it is a thing that they talked about. But the thing is, this data set is billions of items. No human could ever like reasonably go through it. And then the next question somebody might have is, why would you collect this much data? Well, a lot of things like security cameras that do facial recognition, all the way up to like what you call it, all the way up to like the models that predict things about your behavior or things that you would like or things that you like to buy. All of those things are built on a
Algorithms.
system. Yeah, all those algorithms are built on massive amounts of data, what we call big data. And collecting that big data is really hard, right? But the thing is,
Yeah.
you also want to make sure that the big data that you collect is also really varied. You want to basically ensure that like if your facial recognition program is supposed to detect a person's face, then it actually sees Black people. Like, you want to make sure
Right.
that's a thing. So you need to collect ridiculous amounts of data. And the reason I brought that up, by the way, is because when I first used Snapchat, for the like 2.5 months I had Snapchat, it could not see my face.
No.
I'm serious. Not doing
Oh
a
my
bit.
god.
Snapchat could not tell I had a face. It worked on every other light-skinned person I knew. Every other lighter-skinned person I knew. It did not work on me.
Yeah,
Snapchat
so
could not
that's
see my face.
so yeah, that's obviously within their. They need to make sure that that's being built in.
Which I think is, I thought that was really funny, by the way, just to be clear.
Oh my
I thought it
gosh.
was really funny. But like to train a lot of like to train a lot of like these models, you need a fuck ton of data. That's where it gets really important to notice the distinction. I should say this to everyone as well. Stable Diffusion isn't the one that collected all this fucking data. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit boring for like a minute, but I need to introduce you guys to a certain company.
Only one moment of boring.
Yeah, we're only one moment of boring. I need to introduce you guys to a certain company, a company that that has interested me for a really long time, and I've known about them for a really long time because I was part of one of their data collection projects, and I'll show it to you in a second. There. So, if you were to go to Stable Diffusion, you'd find out that the data they use is taken from something called the Lion 5B model, right? So if you look up Lion, Laion, you will be greeted with, and I'm just going to kind of shrink it to fit, but you will be greeted with this website, the Lion 5B. The headline reads, "A new era of open, large-scale, multimodal data sets." Essentially, what they're saying is they have a massive amount of data of different types that they've collected, almost all of which are from public-facing environments. You can download the data, and the data specifically that Stable Diffusion is using is right here, Lion 2BEN, most likely, and it's something inside of 2BEN. But anyway, the data sets are impressively large. Like, again, this is what, like 6 billion, 5.585 billion with a B
Yeah.
items. So no one's
Yeah.
fucking filtering this. And if you
No.
go to the the FAQ, and you go to God, I can never find it in time. If you go to the FAQ, you can see there that this company specifically, because of GDPR, which for my non-American friends is a thing that you can get if your government cared about you, GDPR allows you to have this. I found my name and picture in the data set. I am an EU citizen and I want to protect my personal data as allowed by GDPR. What should I do? You need to look up your own data protection for your country, but essentially this is what will allow them to remove your data from here. They might not be able to remove publicly facing things like publicly posted images, because a lot of publicly posted images, unless stated otherwise, are treated as copyright free. When you tweet something on Twitter, it's kind of treated as open source, copyright free on the internet. Anyway,
Yeah.
so there, they let you remove your data. But here's even some more information that's kind of important to know. Let me just go here. Sorry. So this is the Lion 5B data set. And again, this is still really boring, and I'm very sorry. But I just kind of need to like show you something about it if it will work today. God, is it just going to be difficult? Okay,
This
cool.
whole time I've been entering weird things into this AI thing, so I'm entertained.
All right. Well, it's fine. This is an example of like the way the data is collected, and this is again incredibly boring. But just give me a little bit of your time. They don't
Okay.
store any of these things as images. Every single image that is stored on there is stored like this. Here's a bunch of text describing the image. This is all in Russian. Here is a link to the image, which we can open, and I will open because I know exactly what it is. It's a room. and then here's some information about whether the image is unsafe, whether the image has a watermark, and how similar the image is to the description of the image. That's it. That's how the data is stored. So like Stable Diffusion didn't steal anyone's fucking images. Let me just like,
No.
I know it feels a little bit like pedantic to start from there, but it's just like, let's just outline that here. Nextly, the images you can always remove whatever's referencing you. But the thing is, it's almost impossible to know if it's in there because it's a massive ass data set. Now, I will say, one, the people who were collecting the data should have been a little bit more careful of what they collected. They shouldn't have collected, and they could have gone to environments where it would have public facing, like purposefully public facing images, like stock image sites, and just got their images to use for this. I don't know why they chose to take every single public piece of data that they could. Doesn't seem like a smart move. But the counter argument that they'll probably have to that is essentially, why the fuck is your personal stuff public?
Well, yeah, how'd they get it?
Like, that's what they'll say. They'll be like somebody said that it contains like people's medical records. Somebody said that. Yeah, why are people's medical records public?
The problem is definitely why.
Like the problem is more
why are those public and even accessible?
Yeah, why are they public and accessible? Yeah, I know. If you're in the EU is like the saddest part of this whole thing. I know. It is the saddest part of this whole thing. The fact that you can only remove your data if you're in the EU is sad. But the thing is, just that's not the only way you can remove the data. EU's GDPR and Britain's GDPR DPA both force them to do that. Check your country for your appropriate data protection law and ask them to follow it. They have to, because it's a publicly available piece of data that goes to anyone in the world. They do have to comply with everybody's data laws. So look into your region, find out what it is. It may be shit. It may be really good. I really don't know. They only say the EU one because they know that GDPR is new and very harsh. Most other data protection rights are not as good as GDPR. But you might get really lucky and live in a place that does have really good data protection rules. So look into it. My point I'm just getting to with this whole thing is Stable Diffusion did steal your work. These fucking assholes did. These guys, these researchers from Germany, I think, they're the ones who took all your images. Go be mad at them. I mean, no, don't be mad at them. They seem like nice people. But like, they took it. And then none of them took it for malicious reasons. And then none of the data is being used for malicious reasons. And even if I remember correctly, and I'm going off the top of my memory here. I didn't actually bother looking into this earlier. The Stable Diffusion said they were going to make it harder for people to copy art styles. In fact, I think they have done that. With most people talking about how much more difficult it is to get something that resembles a certain artist's art style on Stable Diffusion anymore. So like, I don't know, like, what the fuck? And anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter because like freaking Clip Studio is taking away the feature. But why did you all get mad about something that could have been really useful for you? What the fuck? Whatever.
No, it really could have been fun.
I'm so tired. I don't understand the anger. The anger doesn't make sense. Like, a bunch of dickheads are going to profit off of your work anyway. They're going to do it. Like, anybody who wants to use the AI art trend to make money off of your work is going to do it. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot when there is a potential for you to utilize the same tools that would be used against you to help you? Like, for photo bashing, for textures, generating images. Like, I don't understand why anybody would do that to themselves. I think the most confusing thing about it is like, look, I am not one of those people who likes to tell people the doom and gloom, the world's gonna end, go die in a ditch, whatever. But it's just more like the future of art in general is going to involve technology like this. Whether
Yeah, you
want
kind of
it
have
or not.
to you have to embrace it and the best you can.
Whether you wanted to or not, it's going to involve that. The biggest creators you don't like will start using it. People you
Yeah.
don't think about will start using it. And what will happen essentially is you will not grow with the medium. You will not grow with like the newest tool, and it will make you less hireable. If that's something you're concerned about, that's what it will do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Somebody then said, let me see. I'm gonna read some comments because I'm fucking confused. And I didn't see what people are saying. Can't wait till the police force start using the AI to get witness statements, and you see a policeman ask, "Have you seen this man?" And it's just Aaron Yeager. Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I like the one about I'm all for the AI backgrounds too. That's sort of what I was looking at it for. Is that would be a fun way to do backgrounds or even inspiration, I think. Right. To type in kind of what you're doing. Yeah. Sorry, that was like the most recent comment.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm going through. Misty next says in chat says, my issue was the use of medical records and how SD was trained. Granted, that falls on the medical record host for releasing them in the public access in the first place. If the people behind SD have said they removed the data once it's brought to my attention, that changes my opinion a bit though. I wasn't aware of that. SD didn't say that. And I should also point out, SD didn't use the medical records, as far as I can tell. Because the Lion 5B dataset is fucking huge. And also it's been separated into different parts. And they specifically use Lion 5B 2BEN images. So that's like the bit that holds all the English language descriptions of images. So that's, from what I understand, that's what they've done. I was looking forward to the potential for making textures. Yeah, I'm on that. I think somebody said, I don't think they will scrap AI completely, but damn, I wouldn't want to use someone else's art. And like, I think it's the morality. The morality of what? Like, this is a genuine point, because I don't think any self-respecting artist is going to like wholesale copy and paste someone's work. If you do that, fuck you. But I don't think anyone's gonna do that. So everyone's gonna take that and add on to their work, make new things, remix, fair use. I don't know. I don't see people just like generating using. That's what we didn't like. We didn't like people who just generated and then made it.
I'm not gonna say I have like faith in every single human on Earth, but I think a lot of them, you're gonna see that you're not going to make that popular anyways. That's not gonna be the kind of thing that people are gonna flock to. So even if someone did it, it really shouldn't affect people who are genuine. I know it will sometimes, but it's not on the grand scheme of things. Like, most people are gonna be like, "Oh, that was generated. Like, what the hell is this?"
And somebody says, if only the amount of data compromised indicates that an entire database was scraped. No, actually, that it wasn't scraped. I found out Lion 5B, by the way, is really hard to understand. Like, they didn't scrape the data. It looks like what happened is they went to basically the results of massive amounts of data scraping that go over for years and years, which data crawling and data scraping is something that happened forever. And it's a really important part of internet archival. So it's just what we have to live with. And they went there and then they just like picked everything out of there. It's complicated and it's annoying, and I don't fully understand what they did. Jenny would have at the very least had the opportunity to test it, would have at the very least liked to have had the opportunity to test it at first. If it was bad, you didn't have to use it. I see the same thing discussed with AI colorization. Yeah, I think we should grow with the tools that we get. I don't see us in a situation where we should like pretend like these tools are just bad by default. I wouldn't use it for a comic background if I need that area to show up more than once. It'd give you inconsistent results. True, but you could use it to generate a comic background that you can draw over. You're not gonna like, you shouldn't. I don't know.
I wouldn't just plug it into the comic.
I'm being a bit of an elitist, I think, but you shouldn't fucking like generate, draw, and then paste. Like, don't.
Yeah, no.
But like, maybe I'm being elitist. Maybe I'm being elitist. I don't fucking know.
I wasn't thinking that way either, but of course, if you are in the comic industry, I do know a lot of people. Obviously, you can just get background artists and then you have everything ready to go. So maybe that's where the concern is, that maybe if you're using that method, you wouldn't be hiring a background artist. I don't know.
I guess, but you still need one, but okay.
Yeah, I would certainly still need one. I would use it more so like you were saying, maybe you'd use it and be like, oh, I like this vibe. I'm going to kind of replicate it in my own background.
From Calais. If I want to make art, I want to make art, damn it. Not have something make art for me. Valid. No, honestly,
Yeah,
valid.
absolutely.
Having had someone try to train this time to make art like me, personally, yes, people do that. This thing. To train this thing to make art like me, personally, yes, people do that. Okay, valid. A lot of the things that AI would automate already in the asset store, though, and those are made specifically for usage in art. Fair enough. Nen, you know we have a recurring debate in comic circles. It's one of the 5 great recurring bits of Discord. Listen, Sean, it might be recurring, but I kind of want it to stop. From Spookylicious. I've read many people getting anxious and discouraged about the AI situation because AI just makes it easier for people to not need artists for any kind of art. Okay. Spooky? No. It reduces the amount of work we need to do. And I'm not going to pretend like it's not going to affect some jobs, but no, because this is a thing that programmers are saying too. So if you guys don't know, in the programming space, there are AI programmers now that basically do like a lot of work for you. For context, the webcomics hub.co.uk website, I wrote it. It's not amazing. It's a very easy website to make. But like a part of it was just me typing in for the AI coder to like make a page. And then it made the page the way I wanted it to. And I just kind of filled it out a little bit. But I knew what I was asking for. I knew exactly what I was looking for, and I had to be really specific. But like, and I was just being a little bit lazy and testing it out. But like, it didn't take away my job. I still had to read that code. I still had to know that it worked. I still had to bring expertise to it. Like, the teacher still needs to know how to do. The teacher still needs to know what the cube root of 128 is. Like, so they still need to know. They still need to know how to do maths, so that the student can so when the student does work, they can check it. Like at the very least, that's still a useful job. If that makes sense.
Nan, that's sense? Why I have to drive a tractor. It can't just drive itself.
Shut the fuck up. Somebody said, the realism is what I think most people are afraid of. Once fakes are generated of famous people doing bad things, it'll be an ongoing one of everything is fake, even when photo or recording. Yes, I mean, I'm already there. It's very upsetting. Many companies or anyone needing art for something will resort to AI generated if it saves them money, K-mass at certain designs. I can see that happening to really small outfits. I don't know about big outfits, but valid. AI art is where I draw the line on what I think is art. It's photo bashing that you don't even do yourself. Valid. A YouTube channel just made a full video using only AI generated illustrations, which was how something that in the past would have had someone commission an artist. Now it's not that needed. I should say, as a YouTuber, I wouldn't have commissioned an artist. I would have stole stock footage. Like, what are you talking about, Smokey? The YouTube tradition is to steal stock images and stock footage. That's just what we do. I'm just saying. AR puts artists and color creators in the constant position of having to defend their original work. I guess I could see that. See that being a real problem, yeah. All while telling me he wasn't doing that. That's not how it works. Yeah, okay, Calais, I understand your specific complaint because yours is very personal, and I think it makes total sense why you were very averse to this shit.
Yeah.
All that just gives more insecurities to the artist as a job. From these people, it's just, why bother getting into art if it's going to be more and more difficult? Okay, this is like the dumbest thing I've said, probably. I'm gonna give an argument I tell you not to give all the time, but I'm just gonna say, we don't just create because it's a job, right? Like, we don't, right?
No, right? I mean, when I do it, I just have like a need to do it. I don't even make money from it.
I also understand what you mean. Like, it's good, even if that's not what we do. If it affects the job market, that's still terrible. Like, no,
of course.
So like,
well, and it's already hard enough out there.
Yeah, it's hard out here. It's hard out here for a pimp. Like, it's really hard. And then like, something that frustrates me about this specific discussion is that the language that's used to market AI is all about bypassing artists. Yeah, Clip Studio avoids it a lot. And I think that's what made me really like go, why is everyone beating them? There are more important people to beat. I don't know. This is not the fight we should have had. But at the same time, like, okay, yeah, I see your argument in terms of like just the general vibes are rancid. Fair enough. Yeah, but you're saying I still need to teach it to code. The issue here is that the AI is being taught to do the art itself, which, by the way, if we took everyone's art offline, I wouldn't do shit. But you're coming up with different examples. I get the use of those images and videos. Just check this video. Maybe you'll get it. No, yeah, sure. Sure. I mean, like, send you the video. I'll look at it. If it really hits me different, I mean, send it to me now. I'll look at it now. I also think the trailer for the feature didn't give the best light either. Slapping a filter on a generated image that causes a bad grain effect gave it a lazy look. Should have been painted over. Yeah, at the very least, it should have been painted over. I don't know. What I've seen of the AI community has been pretty cringe. Yeah, bruh, the AI is fully sentient. It can make art like crazy. Like what? Talking like they're in Cyberpunk 2070. Okay, I'm gonna say something as well. Stop calling it an AI. Like it's not your fault that you're calling it an AI. I just thought it'd be really important for me to mention this is not a fucking AI. It's not an AI. Like this thing is not an AI. It is at best. It is a machine learning algorithm. Okay, it just knows how to do. It's looked at a bunch of stuff and it knows how to steal those ideas and use them to do new stuff. So, like I don't like the fact that the word AI is so diluted, but that's just a tech problem. It's just me. If CSP used an AI that was taught with stock images or people using their own art to teach it, fine. But like the AI had art from people who didn't consent. I mean, no, wait. I agree with people on this point of the art not consenting, and I did say earlier, and maybe that didn't come across, but like maybe that didn't come across, but like I do think the people who collected the data in specific have a very, very big had a very big responsibility to like ensure the data was as copyright free as possible and as like as like personal information free as possible. It's very upsetting that they didn't in a lot of ways. And it's very upsetting that Stable Diffusion used that data set anyway, even though I think there are other data sets that are at least a little bit cleaner. So it's very confusing that they did any of this in general. I just don't think that like it's like I don't know. Living in 2022 with like the crazy amounts of images and information that we have about most people just out there in public, I'm surprised that anybody is surprised that the data set is this like that contains this many people's things. Because the data set is a lot of things. It's images, it's art styles, it's everything. It's not just like some artists. The artists make up like a really small percentage of that. So for me, it's very hard for me to like even like they're like while they're the first thing I'm thinking of because that's what I care about, they're like the last thing I think anybody even thought of. Which, you know, speaks a lot to how people see art. But you see but I hope you kind of get like where I'm coming from there. And like the data wasn't made to harm you. It just happened to harm you. Which
Yeah.
isn't supposed to be like a justification, just like a
No. Well, yeah, we were talking about that earlier too. Like it wasn't done with malicious intent. It just
is malicious.
it just is malicious. Which, I mean, that doesn't make it better, but
No,
like
it
I don't know. But maybe it can make you feel not attacked. I don't know.
Look at Sean bringing the hot takes for society, the good takes, really. The Venn diagram of NFT bros and AI art bros is the most perfect circle you will ever see.
Oh my god.
If the art generating machine was sentient, we'd all want to be its friend, but it's being sold as a way to remove us from the equation, so we hate robots now. Listen, yeah, I can see your point. AI artists create design shortcuts for artists. You can't take design jobs away per se, since someone still has to go through to design something's quality, right audience, blah blah. Yeah, they create design shortcuts. I don't think they take away jobs. I don't think they take away anyone's jobs. That's not how
like,
that's not how it's gonna work.
It's at this point I can't see that, but I do understand kind of the initial panic. I'm not gonna say I don't, but yeah.
The move fast and break things model that tech enjoys so much needs to fix actual ethical rigor because the things are getting broken up people's livelihoods. I mean, yeah. You know what I keep thinking about now that we're talking about this AI thing? This is relevant to you, Tyler, as a driver of trucks and tractors. Did you know that Tesla and the now defunct Nikola were working on a self-driving truck? Did you know that the trucking industry is like 7 million people strong?
Yep, I did know that.
In the US and easily close to that number in the Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine putting all those people out of a job.
Yeah, they're stressed about it.
The worst part about it is like it would be like near all at once because basically all of these people, truck owners, have ordered millions of these trucks in advance because they know they're coming. They've just been ordering a set every year. So when it all comes up, every truck could be replaced at the same time.
Yeah.
So like that's something. And unlike self-driving cars, which have a lot of their own problems. Self-driving trucks don't have the same kind of problems because they usually drive at night when no one is on the road. So they don't even have to worry about a lot of the traffic problems they usually would.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Even if it only replaced long haul trucking, that's still a shit ton of people. And like that's something that's coming to art too. And that's in a way kind of scary. But art is a lot more than just driving from A to B.
Yeah, that's the thing. I really can't get into the trucking thing around a lot of people around me. Because of course they're all very upset about it, but I definitely see the benefits
And also,
in that realm.
Yeah.
So
also Sean was like, it needs to face the Move Fast and Break needs to face ethical rigor. It already did. It's called like every lawsuit that we've thrown against Facebook. I see how it could be useful for stuff. I just think it feels unfair because of how hard we work to make our own art. Probably why I don't like it. I think artists need to get out of the mentality of like the suffering artist is a happy artist.
Oh God, yeah.
Like I think because that I don't know. Maybe Fried Crown, maybe I'm reading this wrong, and I'm probably reading it wrong, but it reads like you're like saying like if we don't work hard for our art, it's not okay. Or something. And I don't know. I don't like that. But like I hope I'm misunderstanding, because I think maybe I am misunderstanding. Give me an AI artist that I can work to the bone as an assistant. The only flats. I see all these artists all these arts of anime looking characters. I'd be like, what anime this? Only to realize this is AI art and there is no anime of this. True. Artists need to stop being boomers. Agreed.
It's so simple. Just stop being boomers.
Stop being a boomer. So
Stop
Scribs is
it.
like, agreed. I think it really made people nervous, myself included, was the idea that you could the output you got could have caused copyright issues. But I also think CSP worded it bad. No. I think CSP worded that one really fucking good. Like that specific one, Scribs, I think was worded really fucking good. Because what they basically told you was very simple. The image could be generated, might infringe on some rights. They told you straight up, we're not giving them any of your data, but the image they might generate might infringe on some rights. Please use your best judgment to ensure you are fairly using the image that is generated. And that is just a rule that artists should face constantly. Everything you use should be fair use. That means that you have that means that your use of the item has been transformative. So, like when somebody says the Clip Studio video was really bad, they're right. Like them just putting the images like up there like that, it wasn't transformative. They should have transformed it. Like, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
An AI generated image won a freaking art contest before. Of course, people can use it to create, for example, 2D assets for a video game. Where before you'd need to hire? No. Okay, Spooky. Like making the assets for a video game is like so time consuming, and while the AI art piece won an art contest, it won an abstract art contest. AI, as someone who's like spent a bit of time with AI art at this point and seen a lot of AI content creation, it is very hard to get coherent looking images from an AI generation. Every coherent looking image you've ever seen, even the most coherent, the ones that the companies would use to market themselves, like on the Stable Diffusion website, are still fucked. Like I'll show you one right now. Actually. I don't know. Have you seen the Stable Diffusion images? You've seen them, Tom?
Me?
Yeah.
Me personally? Yeah, I'm making some right now. It's awesome.
Yeah. But like, have you seen like the one on the homepage? Like, this is the homepage.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you look on the homepage, this is them. Like, I need it to be clear. This is them showcasing their best.
Yeah.
Right? This is them showcasing their best. And even with that, like, it's very obviously not human. The guy's eye is a liquid. His other eye is melting. Like, their faces.
I have to type in these things maybe and push enter maybe 4 or 5 times before I'll get one image where I'm like, okay, that looks like something.
Yeah. Like, it's not like Stable Diffusion is like, I think at this point, I think at the forefront of image generation.
Yeah.
And like, it's just,
it's fun.
This is not the kind of thing you can use in most artistic applications. Like, I've seen most art AI pieces. They're very useful when you add your own spin on it. They're very useful when you like utilize them elsewhere. But on their own, they're useless.
Yeah.
I can go on, like I'll go on Stable Diffusion right now and I'll just type in just like something really simple. 8-bit video game, 8-bit sprite of a boy. Just see what it comes up with. Give it the space it needs. I know you need to be more specific with your thing. You need to be really specific. Yeah, there's like two. There's like 2 images that I could use to do something. I still need to flesh them out, but yeah, that's it.
Yep.
There's lots of like really good big abstract art pieces or really good like pieces of art, the things that you're not used to seeing, so they always look really good. But the moment it does anything you're used to seeing every day, it looks super off. So I don't know. I'm not taking the argument of it taking your job. It made sense to me. I think the point in particular, other people, yeah. Do you think people blew it out of proportion? I think people blew it out of proportion. Not everyone's a fan of the AI. Somebody said, yes, it's possible for an AI artist to win art contests, but not probable. Cool to see that we weren't quite there with deepfakes. We aren't quite there with deepfakes. We aren't. You know what all this deepfake AI stuff reminds me of? Remember that Tom Cruise impersonator from Vine? Was it from TikTok? I don't remember.
Are you talking? Oh, I follow one, but it's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, but the guy from like years ago.
Yeah.
He deepfaked Tom Cruise onto his face.
Mm-hmm.
and he lived his best life. Really, that's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, there's a guy doing that with Keanu Reeves now, and it's pretty funny.
I love that. Is Luxiva still here? Luxiva deleted someone's comment. I just wanted to tell her thank you. Anyway, yeah, it's good at doing stuff that you're not used to seeing. Like I said, it's really good at doing stuff like our brains are not used to seeing. So I'm not gonna I think that that's like a whole different realm of thing. But I don't know. What are you laughing at?
Seriously, like I'm typing in things and I'm just getting the results. And the results are just
you're just on Stable Diffusion. Go away. Anyway,
some of them are just
ignoring
ridiculous.
This useless person.
Excuse me. I'm having a great time.
Someone says, I think the difference in self-driving truck argument is that those vehicles are still have to drive. Artists can take a long time to make something that AI can shit out iterations of in a moment. True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like when it comes, especially with the specificity of most art pieces that are needed, while I can see people's arguments and worries, I just do not think it is what we think it's going to be. I just don't. I think we're a little bit behind. Maybe I'm being a little bit like overly cautious, right? Like I'm going like, oh, it's not going to be that bad when it could be that bad. But I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. So it says, before I leave, I will also recommend for those interested this Proco interview with an AI developer talking about it and how they hope for a utopia where everything's automatically done. They can be literally insane, but like that doesn't make them like worth listening to. I should say AI developers can be insane. Like they're not worth. Most tech people are insane. They're not usually worth listening to. I will tell you this now: never listen to a person in tech who like is from tech and is trying to sell you tech. They're useless. Like holy shit. LOAB may be an actual demon, so using AI may curse you to. Shut up, Sean. Hey, can I ask you, do you think using AI art is only exclusively useful for making anime milkers? Somebody wrote in chat. Jesus
Christ. My God.
I would really, really like an environment where the AI art problem was one where our problem was less of the issue of like, it was less of the issue of like, is it generating things to like, was less of the issue of what we're dealing with now, which is we're worried about it taking our jobs. And we were looking at it more from the perspective of like, how we can use it to enhance our jobs. And I really do think it could really enhance most people's lives and jobs and work. I understand the worries, and I understand that the people who are pushing it are literally insane. Don't get me wrong. I know they're insane. I just don't think that they're the people whose voices we should listen to the most. But at the same time, I'm going to be honest with you, I can see why you're worried. It makes sense. They are very loud and they have abnormal amounts of capital. Normies do not understand how much capital people in crypto and AI art have. Like, I will not forget talking to the guy who was doing the Zurex manga thing and how much money he told me he was running with. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not aware of the problems. That's it. Somebody said, I think it's beautiful human that we decided to teach the robots to draw, but it's not very conducive to an automated utopia. IMO, we don't need to automate art. We like making art. Yeah, true. Somebody says, sometimes I wish my comic would just draw some looks. It's like,
No.
She's supposed to be a bastion of good faith and goodwill. Everybody, okay, guys, I'm just going to put this. Can I put a poll in YouTube? Can I do a poll in YouTube? I can. Would you use, I'm going to put one in Twitch too, an ethical AI art generator for your work? So I'm going to put it out. It's very simple. It's a very simple poll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you use an ethical art generator in AI? If you're looking at your phone, your drawing tablet right now, is a great time to look up, because I do have a question on the screen that I would like you to answer. Would you use an ethical AI art generator? And how do you do a poll in Twitch?
I mean, in terms of using one in my art, I wouldn't, like you were talking about, I wouldn't just paste it into my art, but I think it could be fun to look up certain, I guess, environments and keywords to just find a general vibe. But like I said, I wouldn't paste it. I'd probably just use it as kind of a weird inspiration.
Fair enough.
Because I'm typing in weird things right now. I put in universal monsters, but they're birds. And I mean, it's the things that appeared. I'm like, I would have never thought of a monster that looks like that. And I could put that in a horror comic.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And by the way, it's not a straw poll. It's a poll on the actual channel itself. So look, if you're on the chat, if you're on YouTube and you're in the chat, look around. The poll will show up somewhere at the top of the screen. Same for Twitch. I put one on Twitch too. So I put the poll on both Twitch and YouTube. Would you use an ethical AI art generator? Yes or no? Is it, I want to understand if people's problem is the AI part, or if the people's problem is that it's not ethical. That's my thing. This is going to be the stream that gets us canceled. Sammy, nothing's ever going to get us canceled. Like, the only thing I could say wrong here is say straight up that, like, I like AI art, which I don't. So that's just a fucking lie. I don't like AI art in its totality. I just don't want us to, like, hamper our own progress because we're mad at someone else. That's my only thing. I just don't want creators to, like, put themselves in a bad position because they're mad at someone else.
Yeah. I would like an AI that can draw hands for me.
Someone said it's more the ethics now. More the ethics, but the tech right now is a lot more and I, if you catch my drift. Artificial and but not as much intelligent, if you catch my drift. Yeah, I see you, A and I.
It's true.
If your use includes inspiration, quick references, maybe textures, but not in lieu of any final part of my work. I think that in totality, how you using work in a way that is fairly used requires you to use it mostly as inspiration or mostly as an addition, an underlying part of a bigger content piece. So I mean, whatever aspect of that you engage in is pretty all right. Hands is about the worst thing could ask an AI to draw. Yeah, you're right. Like, Stable Diffusion can't draw hands. Like, I noticed it when I was typing it up. I wrote because it's learning from humans, and humans can't draw hands. It can generate, like, images of people's hands, but it can't, like, generate, like, art of people's hands. And every hand it makes is wrong and missing fingers and off. I just generated a bunch of hands right now, and I want you to know they look disconcerting.
The one earlier, I don't know what I put in, something about drawing, and it was a hand, and then the pencil was a finger.
Guys, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is not where we want to be. It cannot generate the hands for us.
Oh no! Oh God!
You know now.
Oh my lord! Yeah, these are not good. Don't let this happen.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna end the polls on both places. Twitch just didn't vote. Twitch people just decided to voice their opinion, to yell at me, to scream at me. Because that's what they do.
Oh my God, this person is holding a pizza with 7 fingers.
Okay,
this
so
is wild.
All in all, it comes down to like, if I add the Twitch votes, it comes down to like 15, yeah, like 80% yes, like 20% no. 80% yes, 20% no. The AI is trying its best. It's doing its best. Don't bully the AI. Oh my God.
Don't bully the bot.
I have to bully the bot. It's important. It's important. I didn't skip your messages, Sola. I just decided to bully you. Can it draw a stick man? Yes, it can actually, but not very well. Me looking at the AI. We're not so different, you and I.
We're remarkably similar.
It feels nice to know that AI can't even do hands. Have you guys seen the
I looked up Stickman and that is a okay.
Have you guys seen the manga of the guy who lives in a world where he is hand drawn and everything else is AI generated? No, that's a thing. You should send that to me. That
sounds cool.
What would teachers think of students using an ethical AI essay generator? Would this change my answer to the poll? No. Why are people in tech insane? Because technology gives you a lot of power. Like, I should say this as somebody who, like, I have a computer science degree, right? I am in tech for all things considered. And like, I know why they're like that because it makes sense. Like, when you are in tech, you have an inordinate amount of power. Because I want you to all imagine, I know for artists, the idea of power is foreign and strange, and we've never had power in our lives. But I want you guys to imagine a world where, like, you could draw something today, tomorrow it's on a production line, and in 3 months, everyone's calling you a genius because the thing you drew like a few months ago, is now the #1 used product in the world. Like, I want you to imagine that world, right? And I want you to then imagine putting that kind of environment, that kind of power into the hands of a bunch of high school tech bros, a bunch of kids who basically dropped out of high school at like 16, 17, 18, maybe at most 20 something, God given this power and God given like 20 grand to go make it. And like, there's an army of them. Like, I want you to think that. Imagine that kind of person. That's what tech is made of. That's why they love hustle culture and shit. Because for them, that's the environment they grew up in. That's the environment they made for themselves because they're all a bunch of teenagers on the inside.
Same.
Shut up. I don't know. Would you accept an ethical AI essay generator? Would you allow it? I brought an essay to you. You're a teacher. I'm a teacher. So if it was me, I would say no. I was
gonna say you're a teacher.
Yeah, I'm a teacher. But like, you were a teacher. Because I would say no already. Like, no, fuck this. Fuck them kids.
I mean, no. Yeah, no, you're supposed to write. I wouldn't accept that.
But like, you, what about you?
No, I would not.
Why? Write the damn essay. Like,
yeah.
Just, that's my argument.
Yeah.
Oh my God. AI may end up canceling homework at this point. I should say this as a teacher. I barely give homework. Homework is not very useful. Just gonna drop that there and explain no further. Move on.
Man, I wish you were my teacher.
Homework is not useful. Moving on.
Homework is not useful. NEM 2022.
Yeah, dude. I'm a professional and I'm telling you this. No, because Imagine developing critical thinking. Cringe.
Imagine.
If you were a teacher and a student used AI, what would you do? I am a teacher. My student used AI, I'd fail them.
Well, what is the AI being used for?
I don't care what it's being used for.
Oh,
Like-
I guess it would depend on in my experience. Like if I was an art teacher and they were using it in ways that we've discussed, I would. It would just depend on the context for me.
Like, oh God, it's something.
But I went to art school, so everyone was a lot weirder there.
Art school people are strange, man.
They are very bizarre.
Imagine deciding to do something that you know will give you no financial rewards for the rest of your life.
I know, it was a wild literally one of my last classes was like, here's 20 ways that you can make money because you're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
Like that was actually a semester of my life.
I worked in film, and I remember working in film, and they were like, dude, unless you want to like stop working for the next X amount of time, unless you want to like not pay rent for the next 2 years, just fucking get a second job.
Yeah, literally. They're like, here's some, and it was basically, here's some jobs that you won't want to, like, you won't hate as much because they're kind of creative, but you're going to need a job. So,
also,
yeah.
like, Callie, I think they mean like obviously AI generated, like painfully obviously AI generated, which I think is very funny. I'm looking at the AI generated girlfriend where like the guy's hand drawn. She looks really good, but like her hand is broken.
Shocking.
She has too many fingers. She's consistent at least. Via AI to see why the students. No, I don't even think you could tell. AI generated handwriting isn't like that easy. Like, sorry, written stories aren't that easy to figure out. Anyway, okay, that's enough AI.
Oh.
We've talked about AI for like 50 minutes. Whatever.
It was riveting though, to be honest.
I guess it was. I mean, the AI, whatever. I'm not going to go into it again. I don't want to drag myself back in here. So people were mad at me because I wasn't completely pro. I wasn't completely anti AI. People were upset.
I'm sorry. I'm not completely anti AI, guys. I'm against it in all the ways I think that people are getting to. I can see its benefit in some of the fun ways.
I mean, in fairness, I was rightfully harassed. I would like my audience to harass me more. It's good. It's good for me. It's good for my ego.
Harassment.
You know what terrifies me about AI bros? I heard about an article where men were making women models for AI just to abuse them. Yeah.
Oh.
There's like so many, like there's so much to unpack about that, but Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Yeah. That's expected.
God.
That's expected.
Thanks. I hate that information.
I know.
Please take it back.
I hate it.
Take it out of my brain. I don't like that.
Speaking of writing and AI, well, speaking mostly of writing, I think we have time now to talk about one last thing. Can we talk about Yonder?
Sure.
I know nobody knows what Yonder is. I'm the only one.
Are you telling me no one knows what? Someone here has to know.
No, I'm betting money. Everyone who says defiantly instead of definitely is an animal. Anyway, I'm going to bet money right now that no one here knows what Webtoon's Yonder is.
How did they not know?
It's trash. Anyway, so I got something for you kids. I got something for you. Something wonderful. Something you guys don't even know exists. Did you?
I knew it existed.
I told you. No, I know.
No, you did not tell me. I knew it existed before you.
I know you knew. I was wrong.
How dare you?
So have you guys heard of Yonder? Webtoon's new novel app brought to you courtesy of the Webtoon company. If you are one of my patrons, you probably already know about Yonder. I brought it up in chat. And my patrons got a video where I talked about Yonder for 10 minutes. For context, you need to give Yonder access to your phone information on the app so that you can like read stuff because it wants to verify you as an individual user. Access to your phone information allows them to do things like look at your phone number and collect it and save it, which is probably what they're using to identify you individually. Because Yonder has a purchasing system in which they want to ensure that every purchase is unique. So to do that, Yonder collects your phone number, which I refuse to give them. I know you gave them your phone number, Tyler. How's using this platform?
I mean, I guess I did give him my phone number.
You did.
Huh.
You did.
Well, it works just the same as the Korean novels platform, which is also an offshoot of their neighbor, like Webtoons.
Yeah.
And I also gave them my phone number.
Cringe.
So I guess I was already kind of familiar with the platform because, like I said, I was using the Korean version.
Okay. I mean, like, I guess the question I have is like, why would you use this instead of Wattpad?
Well, the stories, I guess, aren't. I don't think they're on Wattpad.
Is like the story concept not overlapping?
Oh, I'm sure it is, but the reason I was using it was because some of these webtoons that are imported from the Korean platform were originally also novels.
Oh.
So you can go and read these comics as their original novel.
So wait. Wattpad is like high schooler story place or really adult story place, but Western content. Yonder is a light novel app.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
just looked on there and I clicked on like one of the images in the Google Play Store bit, and the first thing it says is like the Druid of Soul Station. My gently raised beast. Okay.
Yeah, like that's a really popular comic on Webtoon, and it was originally a novel that was adapted into comic form.
Yeah.
So it's just a way for you to go and read the novel, but in English, because, like I said, I was poorly translating the Korean novels.
Yeah.
So
do you speak Korean? Do you know how to read Hangul?
No.
Okay, cool. I do.
I just point my Google Translate at it.
Oh, okay.
And do my best.
I know a little bit of Hangul, but not enough. They
That's
did
amazing.
really advertise Yonder. You're right. Even though it has 100K downloads, they started advertising it recently on the platform. Yep. But like I knew about it before the advertising. Why are they not advertising it? No idea. Probably because it's a very small group of people care about the project.
Yeah, I would well, and a lot of the people who would care about it, I know I was talking to you about that, already would know that it's there because they've been seeking it out.
I see what you're saying.
Like they want to read the novels, so as soon as it appeared, they were like, "Sweet, a way to read the novels."
It looks like what they're doing basically is because they know they can't change Wattpad's audience overnight. So what they're doing essentially is they make Yonder, right? Yonder holds all the light novels, all the Korean related, all the webcomic related novels for now, right? So you make Yonder, it holds all the novels. Then what you do is first you let people find it, build up its hype. Then you start like advertising the novel underneath the comic on the app. Yeah. And then slowly you build a big enough user base of readers here that when you want to merge them into Wattpad or whatever, like they all just kind of collide with each other in a way that makes sense is maybe what they're going for. It looks like they're trying to answer the question though of what if Tapas's novel section was not in the Tapas app.
Oh, I didn't know Tapas had a novel section.
Exactly, but they do. Their biggest comic right now, The Beginning After the End, which is the biggest Tapas comic as of right now, is also their biggest novel series, which is also written on Tapas, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. People forget that Tapas is like actually like a legitimate Tapas should have been a legitimate media powerhouse.
Yeah, they really should have been. I've still never really ventured over there.
I've used, as someone who's used the app, I don't think it's held with duct tape and strings, but held together with duct tape and strings. But I should say that like, what do you call it? That like, as someone who has looked at who has used it a little bit, it's not that they don't have any. They're not confident they're not confident in their ability to deliver at scale. It's that reading doesn't like. Okay, nobody likes reading.
I like reading.
No.
Okay.
No, but like what I'm getting to, and you probably do. That's fine. What I'm getting to at this point is like nobody likes reading. Like nobody really likes to read, but people really like to feel like they're not reading. But the problem is you can never guarantee that people feel like that, right? It's really hard to do that. So often you don't really want to start advertising your novel platform until enough of the audience has discerned the content enough that you know what the taste of the region is, so that you can start pushing that content, which will encourage people to show up, find it, read that, and give them a reason to stick around. Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the Druid at Sales Station might have more attractive, might be more attractive to readers overall than like Rapture. Don't believe Zuck, man. The pivoted video was live. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Sean makes like jokes that exclusively for me, and it's very stressful. I feel very seen and at the same time very, very, very vulnerable. Anyway, so like, you read Wattpad, right?
No, I don't.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, I've never even
I
used
thought this was going to be
Wattpad.
your platform. What do you mean you don't read Wattpad? What
What
are
would
you
I
doing?
read on Wattpad? Isn't it just like really bad fan fictions?
Sometimes it's really average fan fiction.
Yeah, no, I've never read Wattpad.
Sometimes it's original stories.
Well, I shouldn't say I've never read it, because obviously I know enough that I've read like a couple things and been like, wow, I'm never coming back. So
I can't believe you'd say that about Wattpad, but you wouldn't say that about Comfort the Wolves.
what?
It's one of the stories on Yonder. Comfort
Well,
the
I don't
Wolves.
read that one.
Or the Remarried Empress.
I don't read that one either. But people do.
People do.
People
read
lose their
anything.
minds over that.
People read anything in this economy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. No, but like on a more serious note, like I guess the difference is like also Yonder stuff isn't fanfic. Everything in Yonder is original content.
Yeah, that's just novels.
Yeah, it's all original novels.
Right? Novels. Yep.
It's all original light novels. Everyone on like freaking Wattpad is like a mix of fanfic and original content.
Yeah, like I don't think you can just go on Yonder and upload like a canvas. It's novel
through them.
Yeah.
And the thing is though, because they come with the same.
Oh my god.
It's basically featured webtoons, but they come with the same like connotations and requirements of like a canvas environment, where the users probably just want consistent and constant uploading.
Original in quotes.
Yeah. How often does your content get uploaded? Sorry, on Yonder.
Like, well, I guess the stories I read specifically, because there's a backlog of them, a few times a week, a new episode, like a new chapter will come out.
A few times a week? Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, a few times a week. Because I would assume a regular one would probably update similarly to a webcomic, where it's maybe weekly, bi-weekly.
No, it makes sense that it's a few times a week. I can see that happening. Making a backlog of writing is a lot easier than making a backlog of art. So yeah.
Yes. Well, and especially since I would assume it'd be a good time to jump on the train if you are a big fan of the Korean comics that were adapted from a novel, because a lot of them are finished and they've been finished for years. So when they're updating almost daily.
Yeah, because they're just mostly going, this is the translation. We just have to translate it and send it. We don't really have to do much else. So yeah, I can see you on that. I will never recover from after a Harry Styles fan fiction became a movie series and a publisher. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What's the Harry Styles fan fiction that became a movie? What?
Which one was that? I know what they're talking about, but I don't remember which one it was.
So out of the loop. 50 Shades was, yeah, I know. Listen, Sean, I'm gonna tell you something you would not expect. I'm a veritable 50 Shades lore enthusiast. I've read all the books, including Grey.
You read 50 Shades, man?
I've read all of them, including Grey.
Oh, how'd you do it?
I know all of the stories. I know all of the plot lines. I've watched all of the movies. I've watched all of the movies.
And what are you doing?
I know so much about 50 Shades that you could open the book to a certain page without showing me the page, just showing me like this, the profile of the book, and I could probably guess.
Oh my God.
Guess.
All right.
What book?
All right.
What?
I actually believed you briefly.
No, that's not a bit. That's genuinely true.
No.
There's this movie that Dan Olsen talks about in that Dan Olsen, the YouTuber, talks about, where he talks about like this movie where people basically are reading 50 Shades of Grey. So I go and watch that movie, right? After seeing his thing. Because he says in there, like, if you've read enough 50 Shades, you can see that you know they're nowhere near the sex. So I go and watch 50 Shades. Watch this movie about 50 Shades. And he's right. He's right. He's completely right. I read it, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, I know that's not where the sex is. That's basically Anastasia's still introducing herself. Like, what are you talking about? Why are you rejecting me right now? I'm a 50 Shades knowledge icon. Okay.
I am just learning new things about you every day.
I will never forget having to explain to somebody how Dakota Johnson and forgot his name, but doesn't matter. The guy who plays Christian, #NotMyChristian. How watching the behind the scenes of the first 50 Shades movie was very impactful, because I got to learn about them and how much they really liked making the movie and how they thought it was flawed, but they thought there was a lot they could do with it, right? And the massive shift between that first movie and the way they were like super excited to work with the IP, and like the current way the movie is, and how much they fucking hated it after that. How they went from like, oh, we were doing great. That they were helped us through all the scenes, to like before every sex scene we drank shots and he did push-ups.
I can't.
There's also there's many scenes where like Dakota Johnson is visibly drunk in a lot of the movies.
Now I'm I never watched the movies, but I did read all the books.
I read all the books. I watched the movies. I also read all the
They were
books.
horrible. I read all the Twilight books too. It took me like 3 tries to get through the last Twilight book,
Jamie
though.
Dornan, #NotMyChristian.
Oh my God. I gotta go. What is this?
I don't know why everyone's acting like it's weird that I like Twilight. It's not that strange.
Oh no, it's not strange. You actually like Twilight.
Yeah, I do actually like Twilight.
Okay.
But also, I know everyone's acting weird that I've watched all of 50 Shades. That's not strange.
I don't think it's weird. I think it's weird how much you know about it.
Read a book a few times. Fuck, dude. Like,
you did read the books. I don't know anything. I forgot all of it. I didn't even remember the dude was named Christian, and that's my husband's name.
Have I watched 365 Days movies? Wait, what? What is that?
Oh.
What, do you know what that is? Oh, 365 Days This Day. Wait, what the fuck is this? What the fuck are these movies? What are these movies? Why would I have watched this?
I don't know.
I'm so confused why you thought I would have watched this.
Because you watched Twilight, maybe.
Yeah, but I watched Twilight and 50 Shades because they're both Twilight-related content.
Yeah, cool. Because isn't Twilight or 50 Shades Twilight fan fiction?
Yeah, it is. Anyway, getting distracted from the core topic here. Talking about
I've read so many better fan fictions
you need to stop.
Than 50 Shades of Grey.
Unnecessary. Baby Girl the movie.
I'm leaving. Y'all are unhinged.
I'm having a moment. Like, I wanted to talk about Yonder, the platform, and how I think it's very interesting that we're verging into the
Yonder,
into the written space again with Webtoon. Like, what's the point? Why are we doing this? Everyone's just like, by the way, are you lost, baby girl? Everyone's just acting like, by the way, what you call it? By the way, 50 Shades of Grey exists and fan fiction bad. Yonder bad because fan fiction bad. It's weird. I don't know.
What?
And that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like what everyone's saying.
I guess I don't know. Sorry, I'm also I like a lot of the Korean webcomics. Not a lot of them. I guess that's a pretty bold statement, but I like a few of them. So I guess when I'm interested in the plot progression and it's too slow for me, it's nice to read the novel.
I mean, I guess the question I'm going to ask you is like, okay, beyond everyone's pissing on fan fiction because it's funny, because honestly, I get it. When you read like your Korean fan fiction and stuff, do you go and read the comic right after, or do you read the comic and the fan fiction? Or, like, is that a thing you do together? Like you read the sorry, not fan fiction. I mean the comic, then the novel. Why did I call it fan fiction?
What?
The comic, then the novel. The novel. Do you read the comic and then the novel?
Yes, I'll read the comic and then the comic will be caught up at a certain point, and then I'm just one of those people where then I'm like, well, where the hell is the plot going? And if I know that the plot exists somewhere for me to go read, I'm gonna read it.
Oh, so you're someone who will happily spoil your own content.
That's where it comes from. Literally, is I'm like, oh, well, what's gonna happen? I'll go read the novel.
What's happening in Solo Leveling now? I can't believe you're not reading that novel. I think it's completed. I'm not sure. I can't believe you're not reading those ones, but you're reading, like, what are you reading right now?
I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to get judged?
No, I don't.
Tyler, tell me what you're reading.
Nope.
Tyler,
nope.
Tell me what you're reading.
Nope.
I know you're reading Remarried Empress. You fucking
No, I'm not.
No one believes you.
Tell me but it'd probably be judged as just as bad, but
Tyler,
it's not. Tyler, it's not Tyler, My Gently Raised Beast.
It's not My Gently Raised Beast. Tyler, tell me what you're reading.
Guys,
I know where you live, Tyler.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. I can come to your house and take your phone.
You don't know where my house is.
Go on.
Nope.
Tell me what you're reading.
Why are you guys so persistent?
All very curious.
None of it matters, okay?
Exactly, that's why you should tell us.
The stories that I read on Webtoon and then coincidentally Yonder do not matter, okay?
Tell me what you're reading on Yonder, Tyler. Do it or else.
All right, I'll tell you the Korean novels that I've read.
Okay.
So one of the comics was Tricked into Becoming the Heroine's Stepmother. I've been reading that on Yonder.
What?
There's another one called Wished You Were Dead, which is the story of, I don't know, something magical. I can't explain it. And I've been reading that on Yonder. And then there's another one called what is it called? I already read it, but it was something. So there. None of it matters, okay?
Why don't you just...
Leave me be.
No. But also, I'm not going to dox you. Sean, go away. Anyway, why do I get bullied by these people, man? Anyway, no, like, those all sound actually all right. I honestly thought it was just going to be My Gently Raised Beast times 4.
No. Oh, The Double Agent. The Double Agent is another. I read that one because when I started the comic, it looked really sus, and I thought the dude was supposed to be like a Nazi. So I was like, I don't think I can enjoy this story. So I read the ending so I could like figure out if it was going to get like wholesome or not.
Does it?
And it did. So then I was okay with reading it.
You thought he was going to be okay.
Well, it looked like he was gonna be like a Nazi, and I'm like, well, I can't enjoy a story about a Nazi. That's not okay.
I mean, I liked Jojo Rabbit, so I don't know. What? Have you watched it? Have you watched Jojo Rabbit?
No.
Jojo Rabbit's about a kid who is about Nazis.
Oh my God.
I thought love you did it.
Love to you to the people in chat who are making me feel valid for enjoying Tricked into Becoming the Heroine's Stepmother.
No, it's fine, actually. Nothing you mentioned was, like, terrible. I was like, oh, it's like, you know, generic.
Like, she's reading My Gently Raised Beast. I'm the one reading the one about...
I was so sure all you were doing was reading Remarried Empress. and My
No,
Japanese Beast. So
no, I've never read those novels.
wish
I've seen the comics, but I've never read the novels.
I wish I understood the monetization system of the of the of the Yonder though, because
Mhm.
my whole thing is like Remarried Empress, the webtoon, right?
Mhm.
That's of Alpha Tart, who is
Yeah, yeah.
I who is Alpha Tart like a Korean creator? Yeah, they are. They are. They are. They are. They are because they also worked on the comic Men of the Harem. But like
Yes.
Alpha Tart, so Alpha Tart's basically over there. They've written their story, which then gets turned into these comics. They're the writer, and I guess I'm just wondering like how that monetization looks from their perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And also how that's going to expand. Are they going to expand Yonder to everyone else? Like, I'm pretty sure um people like what's her name, like the creator of Lore Olympus, Rachel Smith, or
Yeah.
like the creator of like Castle Swimmer or something, have basically prose versions of their entire story.
Sure.
So like, is that like a thing that you're gonna start seeing feature creators do, where they're hiring essentially what is like a cleanup writer to take all of their prose and then turn into a clean story that they can upload to
So
Yonder?
I don't know because like I said, I thought for I don't think it would work the other way for me. If I read a comic first and then it became a story, I don't. It's more so if I knew it was a story that was adapted into it's kind of like if you watch a movie. Okay, so you went and you watched 50 Shades of Grey, but then you wanted to read 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I
It's
did.
just yeah.
That's
So
literally what I did.
really, I read all of them and then I
I
watched
read
the
all the
first
books
movie and I
after I
was like,
watched the movies, and
that's enough of
then
that.
after I read all the books, I watched all the behind the scenes content. I really
Did you
deep,
genuinely?
yeah.
Did you enjoy 50 Shades of Grey?
The first one, yeah.
The books?
No,
I was gonna say no, they're horrible.
the first
Okay,
movie, yeah, the first
the
movie.
movie was fine. The first movie, I never watched the rest of
Every
them,
other
but I did
movie
watch
is
the movie.
terrible, but the first
I was
movie
like,
is
the
fine.
books were awful though. Jesus. Okay, I'm glad to hear that that was not like a okay. Anyways, yeah, I think if you're going from comic to it's too similar to me. You're already reading a comic, whereas if you're watching a movie and then you go read the story, it's going to be a little bit different.
I see.
But I
I
think
see.
if you started with the novel, like I'm interested in the novel purely, and I'm just being honest, purely because it goes beyond the comic, so I can actually read ahead.
Okay.
Like that's the only reason that I'm reading these novels.
I mean, as a creator, like if I'm writing my story into a novelized version, I'm gonna be writing way ahead of where I'm drawing,
Yeah,
right? So it's completely possible for you to like
yeah,
still have that exact experience.
yeah. And people, I for that, sure, I'd be interested in that. I'd be like, cool, I'm like 10 chapters ahead because I'm on the novel,
Yeah, like
and I'd still probably check in on the comic too. You
What if
know.
Lore Olympus puts out a novelized version right now, covers the
Mm,
entire span of what's already here, plus everything that she's written additionally, uploads straight
yeah,
onto Yonder. That's something
yeah.
you're interested in. Do you think other readers will be interested in that?
I feel like yeah, the reader. I mean, personally, no, I would not be interested in Lore Olympus as a novel, but I'm sure other people would be.
Okay, that's fair.
But that's just because I don't really read Lore
No, that's
Olympus.
fine. Yeah, yeah. I'm talking about it more in terms of just anything you like.
Yeah, if it went ahead of the current plot where you're at in the story, I would assume. I hope there's other people like me who would be interested in that, but
Yeah,
maybe not.
I spent way too much time reading light novel comics. So I see completely why you'd get it sucked into the books themselves. It's very
Yeah.
confusing. Yonder's play is very confusing, by the way, still, because like Webtoon, I don't even think they have like an account. Like I don't think Yonder even has like a social media account. Yeah, like yeah, like they don't have a social media account, but they seem to be making themselves known in the like author space. For context, for context, I just looked up Yonder on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found a tweet from a person named Donna D. Taylor Books, who wrote the story "Blood on the Boardwalk" on Wattpad. part of Wattpad's current paid stories program. So I mean, she's a big enough name to get that far. Right? Um, and she was just giving out $5 in free Yonder coins.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like that means they're already trying. That means somehow, somewhere along the lines, they're involving themselves with like the Wattpad writers as well. So it's very interesting for me to see how they're trying to like make this all play together.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like somebody's saying that I'd have to really like it a lot to read it. And I think
Totally fair. Well, and here's the other thing, and I guess I don't know, this might just be me, but Webtoon and webcomics, at least on the platform, they're a lot more. Why can't I think of the word when? Oh, they're a lot more censored. Super censored. But when you go in and you actually read these comics, they definitely go in depth about things that they can't do in the visual platform.
I see what you're saying.
So if you're interested in that, like if it's anything, obviously violence, any sexual content,
I'm just gonna say, by the way, it seems to be from this Donna person's tweet that like the paid content on Wattpad, like her comic, which is called Blood on the Boardwalk, is now also on Yonder at the same time. Yonder seems to be exclusively a paid content platform, more or less. At least as paid content platform, paid content specific as they can be. Like they really want you to pay them money.
Yeah.
Yonder, by the way, for context, is available everywhere but Korea.
Well, they have their own.
Yeah, but it's not in Korea, so neither South or North Korea, obviously. It's not in China. It's not in Japan. It's not available in the EU.
Oh.
Cuba, but I have the app. I'm in fucking the whatever.
I was gonna say that's okay.
It's not available in Cuba. It's not available in Georgia. The state, the place, not like the state.
Right.
It's not available in Macau and Sudan. Those last two are very specific and very funny. Anyway, because you could have just said China if you meant not available in Macau, but whatever. So I'm just very confused. I'm very confused what their whole play is here.
It's fair enough. Honestly, like I said, if I didn't want to read ahead, I probably wouldn't read this. I completely agree with the whole.
Yeah, I don't have time for it.
I'm not going to go back and like reread what I've already seen on Webtoon. I'm purely reading ahead. Like that's all I'm doing. Like if the Webtoon's up to 80 episodes, I'm going into chapter 81 on Yonder.
Yeah. Someone's saying paid Wattpad people only get paid to do like 1,800 words a week output. I mean, that's like Stephen King output.
Jeez.
Yeah, did you not know?
No.
Stephen King writes like 4 pages a day.
Huh.
No, 6 pages a day. There's this interview where he's talking with George R.R. Martin. And Stephen's like, and then George is explaining like the crazy amount of imposter syndrome he goes through writing just 1 page. And Stephen's like, I write 6 pages a day. Every day.
Damn.
Like for him, that's like a few hours in the shed, and he goes back to work, doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, it is 1,800 words a week that many words a week? I say this as someone who like, I struggle to write like a what you call it. A lot of my scripts are like 2,000-3,000 words when I'm done. Or like it takes me.
Love that you write scripts. Look at you go.
I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, I've never written a script.
I write scripts, but like all of them are really long, but they're like 2,000-3,000 words. But even that takes me a few weeks. But that's highly researched content. I wonder how differently it would play out if I was.
And you're working full time outside of it.
So. I wonder how differently it would play out if I was just writing like basic shit, like writing like not basic shit, but just I was writing.
And that's story. All you're doing.
And that's all I was doing. I don't know. Christopher. Oh, hey, Chris. I need sound normalization. Yeah. That happens. Sorry about that. I do need sound normalization, but I don't know how to implement that yet. I'll probably need to figure that out. Let's see.
I'm so sorry. I've been turning mine down on Discord because my mom was texting me that I was really loud too, comparatively.
Why is she listening to this?
Because she loves me.
She could do so much better. Go out there, live a better life.
They could be doing better things, but this is what they want to do.
I know, right?
And I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, but like, sorry, I'm just still thinking about the yonder thing. You know, I'm wondering, do you think that the play essentially right now for Webtoon is essentially like, hey, look, we're gonna bring out all these light novels for you filthy Americans, right? You filthy Americans, here's your light novels. Read them and weep. They're trying to get everyone to reading the light novels so they can like essentially transition us holistically from the light novel to a comic that they're planning to make eventually, and not the other way around. Like, because a lot of their comics came out first in English, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot more of the Yonder comics are already out in English.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, the question I'm coming from is like, if they're already out in English, and that's a thing that we already have, right? Before the novels even come out, bringing out these novels only has value if you're basically trying to first attract me with stuff that I know, right? And then over time, push me into something that I don't know is coming yet. Otherwise, what's the point as a platform? Like, what do I get as a platform if I do that? Like, what purpose does that have for me? I don't know.
I could see it being I guess beneficial, yeah. If they're gonna start maybe importing the Korean novels that haven't been adapted to comic form yet, because that is another thing with Naver that they're doing. They do have novels that have not. Eventually, I think they all kind of do get adapted, but
yeah, but they don't have one yet that they've not brought. They don't have one yet. They have ones that they've not brought over into English. Is your point?
Yeah.
Let me see. Somebody says, well, if you're blind, it'd be easier to read. True. That's also another thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just words. That's true.
Did you know
I certainly hope so.
Blind people have money. What do you mean you hope so? You think they don't? Are you like, what do you mean? What?
I'm saying I'd certainly hope so. Like that they have probably interests in money. So that would be a good way for them to get the entertainment.
I just meant to like in terms of them trying to be like accessible. One of the biggest problems Webtoon has had in terms of like designed software is like it's not very accessible because it's largely a visual medium, and they have no tools for people who aren't visually inclined. Like Webtoon doesn't have a tool where you can press a button and then it reads the text to you and tells you
that's true.
Who said what, which would still be really useful, honestly.
Do you think they're working on something like that though?
Are they working on something like? No,
they should be if they're not. Webtoon.
They literally just made a content bot and they gave it the scariest fucking name they could think of.
That was a very dumb question on my part.
Remember Spider? I told you about Spider, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
With an X.
Yeah.
Like these people don't think about this stuff. Like no, they're not doing this. They're not even remotely thinking about making a single thing related to like accessibility. I will never forget, and I will bring this up for the rest of my life. I will never forget that when Webtoon called a bunch of people over to the headquarters for a survey, spent a ton of money on it, paying all these people $150 each just because they showed up to this thing, right? To ask them about dark mode. And then they didn't ask some of the more prominent longer term users if they would like dark mode in like a straightforward way. They chose to ignore all their power users and speak exclusively to newbies who then went, I've not used it long enough.
I just, it hurts my head.
I'm sure like that was only one of the X amount of days, and after that they kind of fixed it. But Jesus, was that still funny to me?
Yeah. It was a choice.
It was a choice. It was a beautiful choice. I love it. Every story I have about Webtoon being clumsy is, for me, the funniest thing. I wake up and go to sleep at night every day, hoping that I can hear a funnier story of somebody being clumsy than Webtoon.
Than Webtoon? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Somebody being clumsier than Webtoon. Who could do it? I think I have one person, but I don't even think I'm going to talk about that topic today anyway. Why did I talk about the rights thing? But I'm just like, you know what, screw it. It's been 2 hours, and I do need to like do other work. I need to finish editing the interview with Chris.
Yes. People are gonna love that.
People are gonna love that. I think I have a snippet from the interview. Where is it? I have like a bit of audio from the interview. I hope it's not too loud. I have a bit of audio. I felt really bad during the interview. I thought I was really mean to him. But he's been very nice to me.
It's okay. You cushioned it all with being like, this is what someone else said.
I lied. I said all those things.
And I'm like,
listen, I made it all up, Chris. It was all a ploy to get your trust.
I mean, I can vouch that some of it was.
It was all a
questions
ploy
from others, but yeah.
Let me just let me play it. Let me play it. Hold on. I think I have like a snippet of audio from the Global Comics interview. I'm gonna play it for everyone. Let me see. Oh yeah, I need to add like a. Sorry, I have like a ton of audio sources, but all of them just don't copy. None of them are capturing the audio from my application. So yeah, that one. Okay, all right. Get ready for this one, guys. No, I fucked it. I'm just gonna play the audio from the interview I had with him. If it will play this year, otherwise I will just never play it.
Never.
Okay.
Seal it.
Just seal it. Put it in a box. Put it in a box.
Don't. People need to hear it. So they too can stand Chris.
What do you mean? Chris is all right. Like, calm down. He's not. We're not gonna stand Chris. He's a grown man.
I'm standing Chris. If your name is Chris, I'll probably stan you. Good job.
Why do you say these things? Anyway.
I don't know. My husband's name is Chris.
I thought his name was Christian. Oh yeah.
It is Christian. It's Chris.
I didn't put it all together. No. Okay, here it is.
There we go.
If it plays. I don't know if it's gonna
maybe. Jesus Christ.
I'm doing my best.
We're here.
I'm doing the most that I can do right now. I'm just gonna put it in Discord. Fuck it. It's so much work. Playing an audio using all of my different audio tools and like all of my different things. Okay. Gone out of their way to click on it and then look at it. They felt a little bit like it was a lot. They felt more like Amazon and less like YouTube.
He says juxtaposition so much.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So
it's my favorite.
Yeah. Gone out of that's part of the interview. I was talking with him. Chris is the one at the end who went, "That's exactly right." I hope you heard it. I hope it didn't get cut out because someone was talking. In that bit is me basically spending about 10 minutes telling Chris all the problems I have with Global Comics and all the problems other people, definitely real people, have with Global Comics. 100% real people. And he really approached it with a very certain like amount of like gravitas that I liked. So yeah, if you want to hear me say really mean things to him and him be very nice to me for no reason, it'll be out in like a few days. It's still, the audio isn't very good. I'll be honest with you.
Oh my God.
I messed
up a lot
of things, but it will be available.
I swear to God.
Yeah, I have to say it. I have to say it. Why did I highlight the real part? I just said the part. I was like, hey, look, the audio's there. It exists. Like, leave me alone. The only other part I could have highlighted was everything else where we had really important conversations that I don't want to spoil.
True.
So I've put the bit where I told Chris that I told Chris to watch Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I asked him to watch. No, that's not real. Sorry. I can't make this joke. I can't make this joke.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Yeah, like that's the thing that's coming out in a few days. That's kind of everything I wanted to talk about today. I'll see you guys in a few days. See you guys next week, probably. Hopefully by then I'll actually have my voice me video done. Thanks, Tyler, by the way, for being here today.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for not judging my yonder choices.
Your yonder choices were terrible.
I guess.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching today's show. I appreciate it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I judge everyone's yonder choices.
That's fine.